Birthday greetings to Dr. Majeed. Oh yeah, the past 2 days I've not been myself. I've been off and on under the weather. I come to work and I disappear.
Yes, I understand.
So I just lose touch with reality.
No problem.
Happy birthday, Dr.
Thank you very
Majeed.
much. Thank you very much. It was overwhelming, really.
Yes.
I mean, our listeners, the good friends out there, the outpouring of love and well wishes was such that I don't know.
I don't know if Itodo called you.
He did
because we said call Doctor. I wasn't feeling well. I disappeared. I said please speak. Dr. Majeed.
I'm so grateful for all the love shown to me before, during, and after my birthday.
You still have the birthday glow around you. So
really?
If it's a thing, you still have it.
Thank you very much to all of my friends and well wishers.
Thank you so much, sir. Welcome to the show and welcome to Hardfacts Abuja. It's your passionate, trustworthy conversational radio. I'm operating on at least 100% today, not like 75 that operated yesterday or 25 of 2 days back. I feel good. I feel great. I'm excited to be here on the show with you. And hopefully I'll tag with you till the end of the show. There's so much to talk about today. And we're starting off with some of the big stories driving conversation on Roundtable with our regular Wednesday, Dr. Majeed Dahiru. He's a researcher, a columnist, and the tech team lead of Terra Leadership Foundation. There's so much to look at happening today. Welcome. My name is Kimberly. If you're wondering, the Watchco, call me Kim, the Oracle, Digital Oracle, OTF, the Fellow, Madam Speaker, Tanya One of Nigeria Info, and I'll say yes to all. And Kim, fetch yourself out immediately. I don't prove my engagement has to listen to you and Dr. Majeed. Take it easy. He's here. No, that's already. All right. With the story. I mean, the last you were on the Roundtable, Dr. Majeed, last week we spoke extensively about President Tinubu's forged or forged not his certificate, and we heard during the disposition that indeed he went to a state university. Indeed, he does have an academic record, and the certificate he presented to INEC exactly the sort issued by the school. It was in contention at the moment. The school says yes, they can use vendors if it's misplaced or something, and it's been getting lots of reaction. A day or two to that, the PDP had the presidential candidate of the PDP had his global press conference addressing some of these issues, saying lawyer Kalu said the certificate is forged, and question about his gender, female, in which the school said it was a clear error on the part. They also brought the several other issues that tabled on. And we recall that the presidential candidate was calling on the president of Labour Party, presidential candidate of Labour Party, NNPP, so that they can unravel more of the mystery around President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And it news that Peter Obi, presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the last election, says questions on the identity of President Ahmed Tinubu have further worsened Nigerian battlation in the international media. And he argued there were discrepancies. That was an article, discrepancies in Tinubu presented to INEC, which could have been ineligible to contest the election during his press conference. Now, Obi said Tinubu owes the nation the simple obligation of reintroducing himself to the world. That the entire state university matter, as well as Tinubu's many other lingering identity marks, has further worsened Nigerian less than global image internationally. Uninformed outsiders now see every Nigerian as a fraudster, a certificate fraud, or an identity thief. The controversy is unnecessary. The implicit global embarrassment could have been avoided, in my opinion. Bola Tinubu should have saved the nation and himself from this protracted embarrassment and undue anxiety. And he should the world know his name, his nationality, place of birth, his parentage, the primary and secondary school he attended with date, as well as the actual universities he attended with certificate in. It should indicate clearly where and when he did his national youth service. In addition, if at any time he had a change of name, it should so clearly that in itself is no crime. It does not require an affidavit, prolonged court proceeding, spokesperson, agent, surrogate. The task is only one which Bola himself, through a direct personal state, can perform, is what Peter Obi said. And it feels like this isn't going away. He didn't come out rightly to say, okay, I'm aligning myself with the PDP presidential candidate to unravel more, just saying, clarify these issues, sir. Identify yourself properly and let us know. Meanwhile, the BBC report is saying we don't see any case of certificate forgery. It's also good when it comes to presidential candidates. So this is still a burning issue. 1 week after we talked about it, it's not going away just yet. An article has said until the Supreme Court settles the matter, he's not on this.
My hasn't changed significantly from what it was last week. Still subject matter. My little understanding of some of the issues in contention and the deposition by the authorities of the Chicago State University, I'm still believe that I think the opposition in Nigeria appears to be doing a mountain out of a molehill in this particular matter, when they should be engaged in some other things to their own advantage and to the overall advantage of the country, and which is holding the government accountable on its policies and programs, its inadequacies, and all of that has created the current socioeconomic crisis we are facing, in addition to threatened insecurity. I had expected that the leaders of the opposition will be addressing the world and Nigerians on issues concerning core governance and preferring so long with it, so that while Nigeria will maybe just endure the the adverse effects of the current leadership and their policies and all of that, they will have hope that, okay, maybe the PDP or the Labour Party are having concrete alternatives that people can hope to hold on to and vote for them in the next cycle of election, so that they can come and implement some of these alternatives. Why am I saying this? Mr. Tinubu, our president, is an establishment figure, somebody that many Nigerians are seeing even in the last election. They didn't consider good enough to be their president. That's why more people voted against him than voted for him. Meaning that some of the allegations you are laying him today, a lot of people actually believe whether or not they are true. But you consider somebody not fit to be there, and you didn't vote for the person, you believe the worst of him. So what I'm saying in the sense, there's nothing new in what they are bringing to the table today. Absolutely. It has been there since 1999. And yet,
but it's not been resolved. This is a question for resolve it. The
resolution is. I would have taken all of these issues very seriously. It was a product of an independent media investigative effort to unravel the mission of the man that is our president. Now we have this matter up as something you want to take to the Supreme Court to pursue your case against this election. So, for me, what is okay? I mean, anything you need to do to actually defeat your opponent, either at the polls or court, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying, if we are a strategic advisor to the people, all you are doing now is exercising futility for many reasons. Number one thing is clear. Issuing authority has said this man graduated from this school, and that his transcripts are consistent with the records we have, and that the certificate, what the Americans call diploma, which we get here, that he turned INEC, yes, may not be exactly the same that we issued as at the time he graduated. But in any case, third-party vendors can design, because it is a similar document here. It's not something of importance. So to this extent, go to the Supreme Court to press a forger. I'm not a lawyer, but I can afraid that it won't fly.
We can preempt the cause.
I'm saying, look, sometimes I don't want to go into this, but I'm telling you for a fact that this is enough for the man to simply, the case is not strong enough to expect any major shift in the judgment in the Supreme Court. It's not. So I don't want to get excited unnecessarily and lose course of the real issues of governance that the government was already failing. As we speak, it's increasingly as though the administration is better than the Tinubu administration.
Isn't that too soon to call?
No, that is why I'm saying we needed to focus on what ails us as a nation. Our political leaders, like Awolowo did in 1970, are supposed to be writing letters of opinion and proposition and say, look, what you are doing is wrong. This is what you should do. And Nigerians, if you give me the opportunity to rule in 2027, this is what to do differently. So I'm saying, stands today, I do not think that the entire exercise, the entire effort at getting the CS records, I don't think it has a better value. Because one...
Personal opinion.
No, personal, I don't think so. For my little standing off, I don't think so. Because one, Tinubu did not claim to have attended any primary or secondary school in his submission to INEC. So you can't hold him to forging primary or secondary school certificate because he didn't claim to have attended any here. Because in the entire thing that was released, like I said, the only thing that is of red flag for me, apart from the discrepancies in age, which opposed a lot of people of that generation, is the appearance of it like a claim to have attended government college. So I'm saying, even if that is the case, one, he didn't claim to have attended college Lagos in his current position to INEC. He didn't.
But is it something that we should be curious about?
It's a moral
the man who is leading the country, 100 million people shrouded in so many.
That's why majority of Nigerians voted against him. This is the point I've been making. This was a man that people believe was cool. Let me just use that word. So he went as the candidate of the ruling party, and majority of them voted against him, even by the results he declared. Even if you believe that he didn't have up to 8 million votes, what is a fact now, as affirmed by the court, is that he won by a minority of the total vote cast for the first time in the history of Nigeria's electoral exercise. What does that tell you? It's talking about his personality, his credentials, his flaws.
It's not the most popular in terms of all
in the first place. If it was a Muhammadu Buhari, you could say, okay, this man said he was man integrity, and he was voted for based on. So how come he doesn't have a secondary school certificate of that nature?
But we contested his wife.
No, he was even a little bit more serious. This was a man of integrity. And how did you secondary school as alleged by his opponents, even though the court had proved that he had after all? But this is Tinubu. I wonder why Atiku and Obi are flogging what seems to be like a dead horse in the court of opinion even.
All right, let's go on a quick break. We'll be back to hear some more. Stay with 95.9 Nigeria Info.
Hello, my name is Kimberly. I'm the host of Hard Facts, and I bring you the biggest stories driving conversation every weekday here on 95.1 Nigeria Info Hard Facts Show. I love to get your opinion and conjectures, but the facts you cannot dispute here on Hard Facts. Join me and let's talk.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
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 This is Nigeria Info.
Roundtable, looking at some of the big stories driving conversation. Tinubu is obligated to tell his true identity, is what the presidential candidate of the Labour Party is saying, and that's what we're talking about in terms of unveiling his true identity. A lot of questions. He's one man who is shrouded in so much secrecy, and he feels like people are a lot curious now to know more about him. But this curiosity has been there from when he wanted to run for governor of Lagos State from 1999, and we're still trying to unravel. Is one
Talking
interesting
about your city, you see, again, let's be a bit careful. A politician and a vision leader speaking. Who has told you that his name is Ahmed Bola Tinubu?
Yeah.
That's him. He told you he bears, and we've seen it in a number of his
Documents,
including his presidential document as we speak. Ahmed Bola Tinubu. And even if there are other names he had in the past, well, one or two processes enable you to change names. I don't know. What I'm just saying is he has told you his name is Ahmed Bola Tinubu. He has told you he's from Lagos State. He has told you who his was. He has told you his ethnicity, his religion.
Yeah.
You know his wife and children. What I'm trying to say here, look, we have more things that are bothering.
important things.
Look, sometimes I begin to say such things, people may not easily understand until we get to that point. We will now realize that truly it was just a waste of time. Look, if there's anything that this revolution has done for Tinubu, it's to actually enhance his integrity quotient.
How so? That he actually went to
Yes, a lot of people, even among his
State University,
had doubts whether Tinubu attended and graduated from that school in the first place. A lot of his supporters had that doubt. And majority of those who didn't vote for him had that doubt as well. So what this revolution has done, without those who brought out the revolution intending it to be so, is it actually proved that the guy actually attended Chicago State University, graduated indeed. And the school told you the issue of gender is of no because it was a clerical that they gave an admission email, and that mail was, but that mail is your president today, they said so. That's the issue of authority. Like I said, the only thing, the major red flag here is that appearance of Government College Lagos. If that was a prerequisite to gain admission in the first place, to study in that university, and Tinubu did not attend that college or the College of Lagos, Government College Lagos claimed, if he claimed it, what can happen is you have to go through the regular court to the Supreme Court to prove that Tinubu forged a government college certificate to gain admission in the US. The President of Nigeria grants you that relief. I say, okay, yes. From all the evidence available, he forged his entry requirement to the university in the first place. You can use that to the Supreme Court, go to the US and file a case again at the court in this to compel the university to withdraw that degree that issued to him. This is completely outside of the jurisdiction of the election petition court. Completely. So the only thing you can achieve is if indeed, and I'm using word if, he did not attend government college Lagos. And if he claimed it, like as I'm talking to you, I'm not sure what that document in that proof of I don't know what it entails. So they should come out and tell us, provide further clarification to say, okay, who claimed to have attended government college Lagos, and on that basis he got admission into this university. They should not tell us that. And if that to be the case, I suspect that he didn't. Hey, they should file a case to say, look, this man didn't attend government college Lagos. As some people have said, as at the time he claimed to have attended the school not in existence. This is a clear evidence. If it is true, bring these things to court. Then you can withdraw certificate based on that or request to withdraw from the university that gave him the degree that he now claims to have. But once a school has said this guy graduate, that's the position is what is important. Whether he used pencil to withdraw a certificate or not is really of no probability in this instance, especially when the school has told you whether our students to use third party to redesign their lost certificate as form of replacement. Why am I making all of these points? The Tinubu position in just a little 100 days has failed so overwhelmed to deliver, to improve the lives, welfare and security of the Nigerian people that the opposition should be preoccupied by calling them out, pointing the way towards the right direction, and getting Nigerians that didn't initially vote for him overwhelmingly to begin to, throw their legitimacy around alternative opposition movement. Such that it is like we're waiting for a to come and vote out the people. That's what I expect the opponents to be doing at this point. He already has set the stage for his own democratic failure in the election because good should not be bad governance shouldn't be rewarded. But it is a thing of pain for that the opposition are forced on electoral matters and its individual inadequacy that they think can be used to pay this election, while losing sight and focus on the issues at hand. And I want to speak that if the opposition does not come together to provide an alternative that Nigerians can really hold on to and be hungry for and long for, so that they can actually troop out in the next election and vote overwhelmingly for this alternative, that might likely win 2027 election, and you still lamenting. You see, in as much as there's such a thing as failure of leadership, in a democracy there's such a thing as failure of opposition. And I see the opposition in this regard, all that Labour Party and PDP is doing, they are exciting their own supporters that they already have. The ordinary Nigerian that simply wants governance, that is unaligned, that not particularly of any partisan association, is not a they are left frustrated, and we are not supposed to providing alternatives. If you look at the UK, for example, to speak, the leader of the UK has outlined the alternative they are bringing on board to save the economy of the UK. One of which is, look, going to reverse the Thatcher exercises that made the government to divest from energy producing entities that used to be state-owned. We want to invest in energy production as state enterprises, so that we don't suffer what we suffered at the beginning of the Russia-Ukraine disrupted supply chains in energy, and so UK economy almost rupture, which necessitated the position of subsidies on gas and electricity. We need our own state-owned enterprise. We used to do it before. That's not, and that ended a massive vote in the last council's elections in the UK. And people are projecting that, look, they might actually win next round of generations in the UK. People are looking to this alternative. This democracy is done. While holding to account of with flaws, you can. But these are the real issues. If you look at the US, it's neck to neck. Look at the issue-based campaign going on in the US. On Ukraine, on everything, the Republicans have an alternative. Republicans essentially are saying, wasting money, funding the war on the side of the Ukrainians. In the first place, we should have prevented this from happening by not alienating Putin. This is a clear policy departure from what Biden is doing, clearly. The only thing that has united America is the war between Israel and the Hamas-led Palestine territory of Gaza. That's all. But otherwise, on every single issue, on budget, you can see the decision over budget expenditure in the US that almost led to the shutdown of the government, which led to the trial of the speaker because somebody felt, look, you present our party as the leader of this party, you buy so much against the reason why we were voted for as members of Congress. I'm saying this is how elections, this is how democracy is run.
But to Majeed, it feels like our strategy in Nigeria has always been for position to deflect from some of this issue and bring sensationalism into it.
Just for the grabbing
APC
power.
was in the opposition.
They
it was
did
the strategy.
and look at how
PDP is using the
people to the
strategy.
APC because they didn't have something to offer. They feel woeful in 80s and they're feeling more now. So I'm saying we can't continue like this. Until people don't get too excited. The man that's an establishment person, he has never claimed to be a saint. It's such that our president has really delivered a one-page statement on anti-corruption, for example. He has never claimed to be a man of integrity. It's simply to have the solution to solve your problems and all identities and all of that. What I mean, he doesn't have any tensions pressure to morality or integrity. He does not try to impress you about that. That's in essence. That's what you are bringing out today. If you bring that more today, a lot of Nigerians will be surprised or shocked at what you are revealing. So this does not, to me, have political value, in as much as I also consider it as not having probative value in the court. I'm saying, in a country where you imminent increase in petrol price, as we speak, where already sense of scarcity, where the price of cooking gas has increased, where Nigerians have become thoroughly depreciated in terms of living standards, our option should be preferring solutions in a manner that excite Nigerians to hold on to something. Because we're a democracy. The only way to change our current is to have something else to vote for. I'm saying, I don't see them performing this. I had expected this press conference, Atiku and Obi, long before now, when the policy of this government led us towards Zimbabwe and Venezuela obviously. I had expected this prophet to we have sat down with this situation and we think the government is on part. This is what we think the government should do. And fellow Nigerians, if you vote for us, if you give us your support or not support, we were going to do so differently from this. Clearly, something that people hold on to. We also want to see that governors, the National Assembly, also champion this agenda alongside what the leaders of the parties are saying. For this, what I want to say as a Nigerian now. In any case, they are heading to the Supreme Court. I'm not a Supreme Court justice. The Supreme Court will rule based on what is before them. And so when they go to the Supreme Court, all parties good luck on this matter.
Really, all parties good luck. That all interpretation comes out from the Supreme Court to be acceptable to all sides.
I wish everybody good luck.
Not favorable to all sides, but at least you'll be able to
I had hoped that by now we'll be seeing alternative, we'll be seeing real conversations around what this government is not doing and how we intend to do it so that Nigerians will still have hope in the democratic dispensation to say, okay, if one party is another party is promising something different, they can relate to. I don't see that happening, and it is actually very depressing.
Well, it could also be because we're still doing all of these election-related issues. It will be interesting to see the trajectory conversation in the political space and in generally coming from the opposition after we're done with the Supreme Court. And perhaps why some people are even advocating at this point, seeing that so much distraction comes from even election-related cases and all of that, that we should be done with it before whoever is sworn in. Maybe we really clamor for that amendment in the Constitution so that all of this drama will be done with. And then once someone comes in, the conversation hits the ground afterward is, what have you done? First year, what have you achieved? 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line, keeping tab and having like sort of shadow cabinet over the policies and agenda and governance of any administration.
Both of these things can be done simultaneously. For example, somebody started this program last week. He said he was an obedient, but asking a simple question. Is it that the candidate of the party or the PDP has gone to court to say, I want election. Look at the evidence I have. That my votes were either reduced or somebody's votes actually inflated. And so I won the election and I should be the winner. Or in the worst case scenario, nullify the election and order it wrong because of this irregularity. So far, so good. I've known the case where the PDP or the Labour Party has gone out with evidence to say, I want election. These are the numbers. From my own calculation and from my own from EA that I gathered from all my agents, I saw higher votes than Tinubu. And that Tinubu vote was added in social and so improved. As I've seen in cases like Nasarawa and some other parts of the country where elections have been overturned to say, no, the litigant have been able to prove that figures were added and removed. And so when they did subtraction and addition, the litigant actually scored the highest, so have to declare the winner. This is not the situation now. So if it's the case, you will say, yes, somebody needs to prove his case justifiably. They should tend to pursue electoral to say, I was cheated, I won an election, and you declare somebody as a winner. The same thing we did consistently. When we went to court all occasions to say, I won this election, no, look at the result I have. Though by 2007 was a split decision at the Supreme Court. It was against 3 until the CJ then, the Scutigi had to break the tie. So, as at that time, the opinion in the country was, what will happen if we are not a presidential election? But he went that far because he went to, I won an election. I don't go to court. That's supposed to be a petition, an electoral petition court, to be talking about the person's personality so much. and people are getting excited. No, it doesn't. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't really make sense to me. You can't be talking about things that, okay, there are moral issues here, and I'm saying nobody expects so much.
No, but we know in other climes where moral issues brought into this conversation, and people have been excused themselves over moral issues.
I told you that if this thing had emanated from the people themselves, from an independent report, like what the BBC has done today, if the BBC brought up this independent media report, indict our president, I would in the court to say, hey, Mr. Based on this, you should say that. Why? You should resign. But somebody has brought it as a way of evidence court to pursue an electoral matter. Somebody who is himself partisan. Do you get the point here? So it is not looking like, if I ask the parent line now for as an analyst, I would have started with the litigant. So I'm only commenting on what I can make sense of all of this. And I'm saying, look, if Nigeria was a country of morals where somebody can be forced or compared to because of some of these allegations, most of these people we are talking about today will not even be in the position that they are today, in the first instance.
Right.
So I'm saying, you see, we need to address more fundamental, alongside your election petition matter. Nigeria is on a free fall, economically, socially, and otherwise.
Talking about free fall economically, even the IMF has downgraded Nigeria's economic growth projection. It said global headline inflation is expected to steadily decline from a peak of 8.7% in 22 to 6.9% in 2023. Nigeria's economic growth is projected to decline from 3.3% in 2020 to about 2.9% in 2023. The International Monetary Fund, a Washington-based lender, made this known in its World Economic Outlook Navigation Global Divergences on Tuesday. And IMF also projected that interest economy, that projected that would grow by 3.1 in 2024, with the negative effect of high inflation consumption taking hold. And a lot of projections that they are used to, but for now it feels like there's a decline and something one needs to pay attention to. Monetary tightening to start bearing fruits if things are put into place. But this is normal IMF speak about Nigeria, a lot of countries. They give high projection, reality kicks in, they step in a bit. But one thing we know, inflation is very high.
Yes.
The cost of food has gone up.
Yes.
A friend sent me a message. I can't wait to hear Dr. Majeed's opinion on the price of gas. I had a smile on my face. I said, it definitely has an answer for everything. Why is now we're talking about CNG? We're seeing gas 1 minute, when next minute has spiked. 12 kg selling gas, how many thousand, and people are just surprised as to how difficult it is to afford a lot of things. So these are the real issues that you're saying is being deflected from at the moment.
By all of this, and it's
talk
painful.
about certificates.
It's painful. You're talking about Tinubu here. This matter has been done since 1999 in one way or the other. But there's nothing so new about this whole matter. Say it. Look, why we are pursuing that, no problem. The opposition is failing its responsibility. I've been talking about even the issue. You have an opposition that was able to garner votes collectively than the way they did. It tells you something. Nigerians themselves elected the ruling party as its candidate, the current president. But because, votes were splintered along 3 parties, so that was why he was able to scale through. That tells you something, that Nigerians didn't pass a vote of confidence at all on that party. For the party of confidence on the party and its candidate. Now, it is for the opposition to leverage on this. The most unpopular president in my models in Nigeria. Very unpopular, forgotten by the votes. And that is why, as we speak today, the president does not have any part of the country that he can say he enjoys block support from. No part of the country, not even his ethnic, not even his own region of origin. So the opposition voices today, still from the southwest, among the Yoruba ethnicity. Right? Nigeria has got to a point where we are simply looking for good governance, unlike what we did the last 8 years, which is very commendable. Very commendable. So the opposition is not leveraging on this. So it was come out to say, yes, there will be a lower growth rate. There's a number of factors. One of which is said the reduced output of Nigeria's crude oil production. Yes, it's a fact, because what actually drives the economy essentially is your receipts from foreign exchange. And in the case of Nigeria, a major foreign exchange earner. As we speak, we are underperforming in that regard. So the point of Nigeria, or any other that represent Nigeria in that sector, does not have crude. They will supply its own refinery that are willing to accept crude. If it is willing, if it is ready for operation. And most of the other refineries. In fact, they don't even have enough crude to do crude swap. What they used to do before. They can't. They don't have it. Now the question is, why is NNPC in this state?
Why is that? Because I've already swapped ahead.
NNPC does not obtain venture arrangement with oil company. You might be shocked to hear this. NNPC does not drill oil in Nigeria. NNPC sits down and allows motor oil companies to drill oil and give them their own share and pay them.
Well, that's how it's been from the jump.
That is wrong. That's something that should have been long ago. Other state-owned oil companies all over the world, including Chinese national oil companies,
Majeed, we're
including
talking
Saudi Aramco.
about NNPC that's not been able
It
to
is
manage
state-owned.
refineries.
That is what the alternative. That's the alternative we should be listening to now, hearing from those who want to rescue this country.
How to do it differently.
How to position NNPC to drill oil with his hands and maximize the entire profit and be able to secure pipelines. Why is NNPC not able to? And why somebody is still being paid as the managers of NNPC cannot do this simple task? So you have joint NNPC has 60% in joint venture operations. But it's what the oil companies declare to that will produce, and you have 60% of. And NNPC has no right mechanism of checking what indeed was exploited. Whereas these openings, for example, Roundtable is monitored. The operation of Roundtable in Nigeria is monitored from us in the Netherlands. Such that if you are off rig for 30 minutes, the call from regulator, what's happening? You have not been. There's a downtime in this particular rig or this particular production platform. NNPC does not do that. Yes. This is the issue. Why? Because of grand corruption that has enveloped the Nigerian state. So we want to hear definite pronouncement on how to reform and reposition the NNPC. Not to hear privatization, no. And we hear state action, how to make this function. So the largest oil companies in the world are state-owned and they are pumping. Saudi Aramco pumps 10 billion barrels of crude per day. And with extra money, they will cut out on production so the price of barrel can increase so that they make more money per barrel. That's what done. That resulted into the increase in crude price in the international market. Same thing with Russia. Russia has what is called Gazprom. It is owned by the Federation. Norway has what is called oil. It's owned by the new government. Most of these countries, Malaysia has Petrobras, Brazil has Petrobras. These are state-owned oil companies. The Chinese national oil company is a state enterprise that is operating the refinery in Nigeria and operating oil fields in China. All of these companies have called offshore operations all over the world, all over. That's why they bring in revenues in hundreds of billions of dollars per annum.
Yeah, some people will be tempted to throw America in this conversation,
Yes.
also to saying over 100 refineries and all this, and you don't have the label of the government.
No. You see, that is where we get very twisted. Number one, America, unlike these developments I've just mentioned, had the advantage of ingenious invention. Somebody invented the refinery in Asanata, a scientist. It is his property. So the government came in and patented him. But beyond that is invention. So when the government saw the value of energy to the emerging economy in the world, particularly at the turn of the 20th century, America activated energy diplomacy to enhance its national security. So what did they do? America went to the Middle East where you have large oil fields to use diplomacy to negotiate lucrative oil business for their homegrown private entities in foreign lands. That was why American companies came together to form Saudi Aramco in the days. It was due to American government energy diplomacy. That was the government doing this. Because already this was already developed. It was funded by the John Rockefeller. It was funded by Rockefeller. So these guys already had their game, but okay, to enhance, to make this something that can bring in revenue for the country for you and you pay us big tax, let me go to the Middle East. America and Britain and other countries with such entities that have developed capacity on their own went all over the world to secure for them oil. Do you know how oil was going in Nigeria? In 1917, the British government gave a charter to this same Royal Dutch Shell to explore oil in Nigeria as it could. And for 50 years, we were exploring oil. And by 1957, they discovered oil in commercial quantity. And in 58, they started exploiting and exploiting. It was interesting to know that the British pension fund is actually heavily invested in oil exploration, including in Shell's operations all about. That's how government comes in to help entity to bring in foreign exchange that they can use pensioners.
So the unseen hand.
But government is like God on earth. And hand must be seen or unseen. Now, back to energy diplomacy. When the World War was about ending, I've given this story over and over again, I'll repeat it. President Roosevelt, who executed the war on behalf of America, by 1945, it was clear that Germany won the war. So he attended a conference somewhere in the Crimea, in present-day Ukraine, with his allied powers. The Prime Minister of UK was there, Winston Churchill. The Premier of Soviet Union, Joseph Stalin was there, and the leaders of France. They all sat down to decide on the final law against Nazi Germany and the future of Germany and the world. But at this point, the President of America, F.J. Roosevelt, was ailing. He was very sick, was very ill. His BP was he needed to go and just take a rest. So, but he knew that with the war coming to an end, and America needs energy, cheap. This is the word, cheap, affordable, and stable source of energy to power his recovery after the war. So he said about the naval warship from Yatta, you know the distance, to the Red Sea, the king of Saudi Arabia, whose country had just got oil in large quantities, to negotiate for America Saudi oil. In exchange, the Saudi king asked him, well, I want security for my household to be the rulers of Saudi Arabia forever, and my kingdom to remain without his sovereignty being violated by any external forces. And American president said, that is the bond you see between America and Saudi till today. It was based on energy security, energy. And by 1953, when Iran, which was an oil-producing country in those days, elected a very radical prime minister, Mohammad Mossadegh, and so he nationalized Stan oil holdings in this country. And he felt they're not giving us enough, so we need to nationalize it, which was something that was in rave those days. You know what the Americans and the British did? They deployed CIA and MI16 officials into Iran to instigate Iranians to carry the coup against the prime minister that canceled oil contracts and seized their oil assets. American government instigated the coup to remove a prime minister because of the
I know this, and it's an open secret.
It's classified. It's classified. It's not something America does not deny it anymore. They've declassified all this information. I'm trying to tell you what countries do to protect source of energy of their countries or their companies. And by 1973, when Saudi used oil to punish America because of Arab-Israeli war, support for Israel, America started to establish the strategic petroleum reserve. In reserve, they sell crude oil to refiners at discounted rates at lower price when prices are high, in order to stabilize businesses and keep pump price at home low. So American government is involved fully in oil and gas exploration and indeed any other business country in the way that they are doing it. Others do it in a way that you can see. What is important is involvement. No entity, energy can be allowed to float freely without government involvement. It's not possible. That's why other emerging economies who don't have advantage of ingenious invention, who has invented a drilling rig, not talk of veterinary. So because you need to procure those who have already established
it goes beyond regulatory to actually having that
investment.
Behind the cutting.
That's why you privatize the electricity sector, and it's a mess. Because nobody in Nigeria manufactures transfer or manufactures high tension. Yes. The people you sold it to are full investors who just bought it, or something to generate revenues. They couldn't add value to distribution companies. And government had to subsidize continuously and so practically repossessed by government. Admitting so. So what I'm saying is, emerging economies knew this. We don't have the technological expertise. So what we have is administrative acumen, man skills to acquire. So go to Saudi Aramco today, you have the best and gas experts and brains working in Saudi Aramco from all over the world. They bring in the best brains to work there. What's important is the revenue and the performance of the company. They must not make their account the ED of one sector or the other. No. The head can be a Saudi somebody. But the people that are doing the work is whoever is qualified to do it. Get the person to do it. Exactly. We must have an alternative approach, political economy philosophy, to avoid these things.
All right.
Because we are on a slippery slope. And I'm saying this because, against the background of, we've been operating a particular operating system that is not working, a particular political economy that's working. And after 24 years, we've seen that democracy itself has under serious legitimacy crisis in there. People are now wondering, is democracy really the better form of government? Because of the failure. I was expecting opportunities to buy into. Look, we've tried this thing for 24 years. Isn't it time we do something radically, drastically different from what we've been doing? That's the kind of position I'm expecting from the opponent. I can assure them today, if they're listening, that Nigerians will vote for them massively, that they won't have to spend one kobo at the polls. If they can determine an alternative on all of these key issues, what less so the NPC is underperforming. So they cannot produce enough crude. Crude is, we have crude on ground though, it's inside our soil. We can't. And the failed NPC is an extension of the failure of the state and the government of Nigeria. Not to be able to manage his own natural resources. Something that's gone then. We need an alternative solution to this that is fundamental in nature. Not racism. No. We need to identify it. Why did we get to this point?
All right.
We can't even exploit crude in the world anymore.
All right, Dr. G, let's take a look at some of the comments quickly. We'll go on the break and the news. Mbaja says, happy birthday, Majeed. God bless you. And more happy birthday from Bilir Gombe State is listening online. Peter says, Dr. Majeed, Madam's opposition party used pull him down, criticize, but even if you advise the APC, you will say the opposition is lying with Nigeria. Oludade Abiodun, good afternoon. Kim, Dr. Majeed, I think Obi and his only chasing shadows. I think these people should... the bitterness, the amount of bad mouthing can make president. And Mokama Wilfred is sending greetings. Also, Godwin, my name is Godwin Sanu from Lube. Good to you also. Thank you very much. I see quite a number of people. Let's very Joseph, Ani Ministry. My name is Ani. I asked Mr. Peter Obi to just prove that majority voted for him and allow Atiku and his others fight already lost battle. Seem to think Obi shouldn't drag himself into this whole certificate matter with PDP. Thomas Bode says instead of the opposition beat APC to the game, they are busy talking about certificate. Obonna 4K. In as much as I understand Majeed is driving to, I don't see anything wrong with what two political parties are doing as regard the election tribunal. If you're fighting with enemy, use every weapon at your disposal. I think that's what the two political parties are doing. In terms of providing the needed position, let's judge them after the tribunal. Zebunam Joseph says, sir, you'd bear in mind that this party of people in stay are cooked and trained politics. If you talk as you are there now, they might shun the radio. DSS, let's not be scared. Sending imaginary boogeymen after each conversation. Thank you very much. And let's see here. All right, I will refresh Facebook and more of your messages there. Messi from Lube. Dr. Majeed, regarding the last election and certificate saga on Tinubu, is your analysis tried so hard to be diplomatic with the threats Oluwachidi and Ikukwoma 50-50? Kim, are you sure your guest knows how politics is played in Nigeria? We conclude an election with the president has not even to 1 year in office and is expecting Obi to start another campaign. Help ask your guest what Obi has been saying in court. Obi filed a suit that he won the election, which came to court with so many ballot boxes. I was surprised to hear your guest say that in an article, none of them have said that they won the election. And you Joseph, we already saw your message. And let's hear. I wish you a happy birthday, Mohammed. Thank you very much. My opinion on the certificate is they made distract government, but Tinubu's lawyer blocking the release academic record that his entire image. I've heightened my curiosity. Please help me tell Mr. President I can fix one of the refineries in 5 months, says Amos Ingariki. Let's take a break for the news at the top of the hour. We'll talk the Israel-Palestine war afterwards. Stay with us.
Passionately connected
to
Let's talk.
Nigeria Info 90.1 Abuja.
Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info.